All right, hey guys, this is the Virtual Gamer, and I am here with another review. This one is for Under the Dome, Season 1, Episode 2, and the title of this one's called The Fire. And first of all, I'm going to go over a little bit about what happened in the episode. If you haven't seen the episode, don't listen to this. Go ahead and watch it first, and then you can come back and we'll discuss a few things. So, go ahead and turn it off now if you haven't seen it. So, here we go. So, basically, it starts off with kind of a flashback, which we know turns into a dream that Barbie is having, and where he obviously works for like I don't know if it's a loan shark. I mean, I haven't really explained that yet or anything, but he works for a guy that wants something from Mr. Shumway, or Julia Shumway's husband, and so he is the muscle, the guy that goes and you could tell he's definitely ex-military. He's a guy that knows how to coerce people into paying, and so that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to coerce them into paying. Well, in the midst of him doing this, he's about to leave, and Mr. Shumway decides to pull a gun on him. Well, he comes back, obviously fights, gets the gun loose. As they're fighting, the gun goes off, obviously shooting Julia Shumway's husband. And in the midst of this, Barbie loses his dog tags. And so he wakes up, he's staying the night in Julia's house. And then he goes over to kind of talk about we find out that Duke is dead, or that Duke dies when when his pacemaker explodes for getting too close to the dome. And I had a question right at first. Why aren't they rushing this guy to the hospital? I mean, these guys are not doctors; they're cops. They should be rushing Duke to the hospital. That was just one of the questions that I had, because it seems like what you should do, but hey, this is TV. So, but Duke is dead. They find that out. We find out that the people at the radio station have created a radio. The chick at the radio station is a electrical. She was like one credit away from being an electrical technician, or whatever it's called. Anyway, she builds a radio, and so she is able to get bits and pieces of broadcast outside of the dome. Really, the only communication they have, because the Army people aren't talking, and Julie is kind of mad about this at the beginning of the episode, because the Army people won't say anything to them. They won't communicate anything to them as far as through, holding up written signs. They could hold up written signs, but they're not doing that. They're not letting them know anything as to what they think it is. But we do find out later in the episode that, according to the radio broadcast, that the military do not know what the dome is. They don't know. And everybody, in Chester's Mill finds out that it is a dome that's over them, by the way. Okay, let's see here. Of course, we found out in the first episode that Junior is Big Jim Rennie, his son, James Jr., is a psychopath, or seems to have psychopathic tendencies. But really what he seems more than anything is just a lovesick boy who is taking this way too far by capturing his girlfriend and holding her captive. And I know this has only been a day now that he's had her, but I'm guessing that pretty soon we're going to be asking the question, why hasn't anybody realized that Alice is missing? And start looking for her, because her brother seems to be so caught up in his whole little world about figuring out what the dome is and talking to his little friends and all that, that he doesn't even realize that she hasn't been home. So anyway, so let's see here. We find out that Big Jim and the Reverend knows about what the propane tanks are as well. And there were three, apparently there were three people that knew about this. Duke, the cop, or the chief, the Reverend, and Big Jim. Well, Duke is dead. And the Reverend seems like kind of a moron. I mean, just from this one episode, he wasn't in the first episode, but from this episode, he just seems like kind of an idiot. And Big Jim is definitely the leader of this town. He's the guy that steps up, and they're doing something, and they know about something that's secretive, and I think it has to do with drugs. Because when the Reverend, Big Jim, he said, "You're using our product," and kind of alluding to maybe he was high or something like that. So anyway, so that's definitely one of the questions I have. Is are they into drugs? Are there drugs in the propane tanks? Don't know yet. So, okay. One of the problems I had with this episode was the guy playing Paul. And he, I guess, was one of the deputies. And the guy is a horrible actor. I don't know why, with a cast as good as it is, with a show, it obviously has a production value, it's pretty high. They're going to get this guy, Paul, who, in my opinion, is one of the worst actors I have seen in a long time. I mean, this guy is a horrible actor. It almost turned me off just watching his performance in this episode. But anyway, I just had to bring that up because that's probably the only thing that I really disliked about this episode. But I felt like the episode, all in all, was just kind of mundane and just kind of so-so or whatever. Let's see. Oh, and Junior confronts Angie about Barbie. This guy that I saw you guys together or whatever. I'm jealous, blah, blah, blah. And then she proceeds to tell him a lie because she's pissed off at the fact that he's holding her captive. And she says, "Oh yeah, he was better than you," and blah, blah, blah. And he screwed my brains out, that sort of thing. So he follows Barbie and, of course, gets his ass kicked by Barbie as Barbie makes his way back to the house where he killed Julia Shumway's husband in. And he finds his dog tags and then proceeds to kick Junior's ass and tells Junior that next time he's not going to stop. He will kill him or whatever. Okay, and then the climactic thing that happens in this episode, which the episode is named after, the fire. The Reverend breaks into Duke's house, finds his secretive propane paperwork, which we don't know what's on it, and burns it. In the process, sets the freaking house on fire. And sets the curtains on fire, which proceeds to set the house on fire. Everybody in the town gathers together because they're scared that the whole town is going to burn down. So they gather together in a group effort to stop this fire. Big Jim brings out a big old tractor and knocks the house down. Very dramatic, and he's the hero. He's the hero of it. Everybody's going to love him now because he stopped this fire. He took charge when charge needed to be taken. And so that's basically what happened in this episode. They stopped the fire. And then the very last thing in the episode, this really bad actor, the guy that plays Paul, decides that he's going to freak out, go crazy, takes his gun out, starts shooting at the dome. and one of the bullets ricochet and hit one of the officers in the heart. It was a heart shot, an unintentional heart shot. I give props to the guy for that. I mean, a heart shot, you know, but he wasn't even trying. Wasn't even trying to hit a heart shot. He was shooting at the dome, and it ricocheted. Boom, hits this other deputy in the heart, leaving basically one police officer left in town. And it's the chick, and I can't remember her name, Elizabeth or something. I actually can't remember her name. Well, hold on. Let's see here. I don't have it written down. So, I don't know her name, but it's the Mexican chick cop. And she's alive. And, of course, the really bad actor, Paul, he's alive still. But he's probably going to go to jail. He's going to be put in jail. So, really, there's one available cop, which I think, and personally, is going to lead to them deputizing people. And Big Jim, the guy that we all know is evil, is probably going to be in charge of picking who becomes a deputy. And I wouldn't be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, if his son Junior is one of those chosen. So expect that. That's what you can expect from these kind of shows. But it's riveting. I'm loving the show. I really like it. It kept me involved. And so I definitely give it a thumbs up. It was a good episode. And so that's about it. We'll talk to you next time. We do a review. I'm going to be putting some Minecraft videos up, so stay tuned. Thanks a lot for watching, and have a good day.